A patent that I went through today in terms of looking at the different claims was for a flexible airfoil elastic section that could potentially be used for sailing applications as a membrane. The idea of the technology is that you have an airfoil, which is essentially your wing design, and you have on the leading edge is a rod or a pivot point, and then close to the trailing edge of the airfoil you have another pivot point. And between the two pivot points, there's also a sliding mechanism that's allowed, and as an applied fluid force hits the airfoil from a given side, the flexibility of this design allows the airfoil to camber, meaning curve, in response to that load. And if you look at any given set of airfoils, any amount of camber, which is the curvature of the airfoil, it makes it asymmetric, allows it to generate more lift. And so in this case, the beginning of the patent goes through a very detailed description of prior art, which goes through all of the different types of airfoils, the terminology, how that terminology is utilized in this patent. In addition, it also covers what types of airfoils are already in play in general, and how this particular airfoil differs from those that are existing. This is not a specified design of the airfoil itself, those are also patented. This is more the application and the mechanism in which the wing design is used. And so I looked at one of the major independent claims for this particular one, and I'll read it. It is a flexible elastic airfoil for generating lift as a result of camber deflection under load in a moving fluid medium mounted on a support structure attached to an apparatus operating in contact with a moving fluid medium, said flexible airfoil assembly comprising, and then it goes into a bunch of dependent claims relating to this independent claim. The dependent claims talk about the specifications of the pivot points and the sliding mechanism, and further independent claims listed have very similar wording. The primary differences in their dependencies has to do with specified ranges of chord length, which is how long the airfoil is, and other ranges that will detail how this specific application can be used. And so in the case of infringement, any airfoil design that used the parameter of the forward pivot, the trailing edge pivot, the sliding mechanism, and that fell within a given chord length would result in an infringed patent. By addressing the prior art at the beginning of this patent, it ensures that they will not be invalidated.